So, I am hoping that I'm not encroaching on anyone's Christmas plans. By streaming today. I know it's Christmas Eve in some places. Rather than just straight Christmas. But it's still the festive season, so...
Hey.
My goal with the stream, in which there's my goal with this stream, for the one viewer who's already here, is to get the platinum trophy. Yeah, I figured that. I figured. Right. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, that was my dad. You are very funny, Draco. So, Akio. Dan Shumpike, Ernie Prang. I think they're two of the few minifigs that I actually have, because the only two sets I remember actually having were the Night Bus and right. Would have been more of a Halloween appropriate thing for us to have found out that Lupin can become Mooney at will. Back during the Expecto Patronum lesson, but we got the trolley lady. I want to be efficient with time because, well, well, it's Christmas and we all have our own festive things to do. Ten minutes in and we've already beaten the first level. I suppose, to be fair, that does make up for how we already needed to fully beat Diagon Alley in order to get someone with a key. How fitting that the second level, going to Hogsmeade in the snow, something that feels very festive. The one thing that didn't put a downer on it was what Harry learns while he's here. What it is that Sirius is accused of. Yeah. Crab in a sweater. Ridiculous. Ah.
Hey. 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 Hey!
All right. Goyle in a sweater. Alright. Gryffindor in here. I was a bit torn on whether I should use the Christmas extra because of the season, but at least the choice of music here kind of makes up for the lack thereof. You are very funny. I have noticed, Draco. Right. Not that. Who do we have that can dig? Neville. Oh, here we go. Ooh. Strike. Yeah. All right. Right, yeah, Slytherin is... If you wouldn't mind being quick about sending something at me I can send back at you, Draco. We're on the clock here. Well, I am. You might not be. And suggesting otherwise might make you tell your father about all this. Alright. Boosh, Draco. Apparating. How did I not get that student in peril last time? Draco in a sweater. Ah. Okay. Hagrid. Now the doctor. We're all good. See again, only 10 minutes. We are really speed running now. And I need to be in order to really thoroughly check. but I haven't missed anything. Okay. What the? Immobilus. Bonk. Probably could have got Ravenclaw if I really tried. It's ridiculous. It has a idiots. Merry Christmas to you too. And getting the platinum trophy here, I hope is going to be my present. But I still have a ways to go. One that must have I think I glitched out there. I cannot afford technical difficulties. I see Quirrell is your player too. Are he and the Doctor really the squad? Well, put it this way. Quirrell's here for you, the Doctor's here for me. Win-win. And we've got 2 viewers. Oh, he's here for me. The Christmas spirit is... That's the Christmas spirit right there. If only you were here during Hogsmeade, because, well... I was kind of torn on... whether... I was kind of torn on whether or not I should...
What's one doing here?
I was kind of torn on whether or not I should turn on the Christmas extra. Because, well... Turn it on. I mean, what better time for it than now?
You had breakfast. Yes, you have.
Also, here in Germany, we celebrate on the 24th. So, the main reason I was so torn about the Christmas extra is because it sets everything to how it was in the Hogwarts free roam leading up to the thing of finding the Mirror of Erised. Love how Quirrell doesn't wear a Santa hat because it wouldn't cover up Voldemort. Ridiculous. Okay. So. Anyway. One of the other big reasons why... one of the big changes that comes with the Christmas extra that made me really apprehensive was... Hermione. Was the music. I mean, it feels very appropriate, yes, but and for good reason. It's when wait, wait. Can I see Wizard Head with Wizard Red with the Santa hat again, or was that a red Dumbledore? It looks pretty Santa Claus-y, doesn't it? Even more so with the actual hat. It's him! It is Santa Claus! Yeah, I have mixed feelings about picturing Tim Allen as Santa Claus because, well, the Santa Claus movies are pretty fun for Christmas movies, but Well, put it this one. Put it this way. I think I might have already stated this at one point, but there is a reason why people think Disney gets Treasure Planet. And one of that ties to the Titanfall 2-esque launch window it was given, because they scheduled it up against the Santa Claus 2 and Chamber of Secrets. So, yeah, it was... Yeah, financially it was gonna be... It was already destined to be dead on arrival at the box office, but... Hey, at least its legacy lives on. I couldn't ask for anything but more than that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ron and John would say the same. Right. Bam! There's a student in peril. The Grey Lady. Alright. Are there ghosts in this game? Are the ghosts in this game as OP as the Lego Star Wars ones? As far as defensively, I like to think so. But offensively, their only option is a shriek that's that freezes people around in place. Right. What? And yeah, you need that for a trophy, but yeah, it's not the most practical offensive option here. And they don't even get any spells to back it up. I want to ask, what if all the Lego games take place in the same universe, but it's already kind of questionable if Skywalker Saga and Complete Saga are even canon to each other. Well, we know the Skywalker Saga is canon to Disney, so would that make Complete Saga canon to Legends? I don't know. Okay, I mean, Lego Star Wars 3 does have Starkiller and Shadow Troopers in it. Exactly my point. Because, I mean... And more than that, one of the red bricks enables, like, dual wielding, so you can have him be the Starkiller we know, or the one from the second one. I know that most Star Wars gamers prefer not to talk about it, because, well... wonder what happens with... No, nothing happens to Mooney. Alright, oh. One thing more. Yeah, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the music. Primarily because while it's appropriate for this season, it really does a number on the mood. Especially for big boss fights here like the Whomping Willow. Monster Tree attacks the characters. Music. Hey, peace and love. Which Grey? Could it be the Grey Lady before death? If it was called Helena Ravenclaw, then I would have thought so. Then again, it could be a... No. I was going to say it might have been like a magical take on Lady Button from Ghosts. But... I mean, it's possible. I never found out the Grey Lady's true identity. Kicks cop. Copy of the Deathly Hallows under the bed. Yeah, and we'll just ignore the fact that they would have been... that if they were even... if they were even a full troop by this point, the them-there peoples would have been doing horrible histories by this point. Formally, that is the name of their troop, because it's the name under which they like produce the stuff they wrote. But yeah, they first met. But yeah, most people call them the Six Idiots, if not the Horrible Histories troop, because of like the show in which they first met. Maybe this game's roster sucks so hard because the Harry Potter series is so hyper-focused on its main character. Granted, so is Batman, but that game had decades of storytelling to pull from. Maybe that's a problem with Harry Potter being pretty damn young, especially as classical heroes' journeys go. Bam. We got a character token for Pettigrew. Now right here gives us Lupin when Are all the Marauders in the game? James dies before the story really begins. Yeah, he does, but I think his ghost is in there, so that counts. But because he'd be a ghost... Wait, there's a chimney! Maybe Santa's about to come out! Finally! Alright, the Hermione red hooded top. I suppose it is appropriate at this point to... Here comes Mooney! Speaking of which, because James would be a ghost, he probably wouldn't have like a green spell that makes his spectral form prongs. Come on, man, did you buy this game because you really wanted to play Hermione red hooded top? I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone that did. But as cool of a costume as it is, and as naturally appealing as it would be to me, I mean, she's up against the Doctor, man. How can she hold a candle? So that begs an interesting question. Maybe someone who had the minifig as a kid, I guess. To be fair, the only minifigs that I remember having as a kid were... Well, the only sets, rather, were the Night Bus and the Attack on the Burrow. So... that certainly limited what minifigs I had access to. Come on, Accio! Accio! Okay, that doesn't work. That's something that wants to be pulled right from the source. Why am I bothering with any of this subterfuge? Mooney is strong enough to pull handles. Yeah, Mooney is strong enough to pull handles. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not the only one that refers to the Marauders' animal forms by their Marauders' handles. Well, we've got one less viewer, and to be frank, I can't blame them. I mean, like I said at the beginning, and you might not have been here for this, if other people have to spend time with their families for the season, then I don't blame them for not sticking around. Me, though, most of my family is either here, and the ones that aren't tend to be... most of them are pretty understanding. Okay. Pop that. And pop that. Slytherin. I think that's everything. Okay. Witch Grey. Anyway, if Witch Grey was supposed to be a Grey Lady before she died, then if it was supposed to be Lady Button, then Well, put it this way: Martha Howard Douglas is a natural blonde, which says a lot. That in Horrible Histories, her main roles are like, as far as like historical figures go, and big name ones at that. One of the big ones, well, two of the big ones are Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth. I mean, to be fair, I think the Terrible Tudors were one of the first eras to have been covered by Horrible Histories. Because, of course, being British, they defined their eras by whichever dynasty of the monarchy was in power at the time. Wait. Nope. I don't know about you, but in playing like stuff like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, like Victorian gentleman's fashion feels really cool. Anyway, Hagrid's Garden and the library both prove that you can have a free roam area as part of a level, so why not have... So why do we not have Moaning Myrtle's restroom as an explorable location in free roam? Bam! Right. Buckbeak is out. So, we don't have to worry about the student in peril. Well, we already had last time. At least one thing the Christmas music that comes with the music that comes with the Christmas extra does is is it allows us to stop, idiot. Okay, bam. Okay. Oh, okay. Nope. Basic Quirrell is not a parcel mouth. So, who is? My... Harry in a tux. Why would you give me Harry in a tux when we're out in the wild? Wait. For crying out loud, the...
I will put on a nice shirt later. Things are in his good clothes.
I mean, Christmas may be a weekday, but we still gotta look our Sunday best.
It's a new iOS for the AI.
So, right. Don't want to worry about the Dementors right now. First job is to get these. If you don't... Oh, for... I'm guessing that's something they really want you to have a co-op partner for. Especially considering playing through a whole level with a co-op partner is required for a trophy in many LEGO games. Having actually checked the trophy list this time and not just waiting until, like, I discover the bounty hunts have been replaced with prequel levels. I know that's not the case here.
So, what I'm thinking...
Alright. There we go. Lupin, and he comes with Mooney as an Animagus form. Okay. Bam. Bam. Alright. Okay.
Pulled out the brandy butter out of the freezer so that it will soften a little bit. So we do have pudding. There's brandy fruits. There's ice cream.
So... I feel like if I buy a bunch of characters now, it'll give me the trophy for... Headmaster, you've got to stop them! They've got the wrong man! I feel like if I peel off and buy all the characters I have now... Eat this, it'll help. It'll really help. It's alright, it's chocolate. Yeah, if I get all the characters I've unlocked now, I might get the trophy for, Boys, I think it's how we teach Weaselby how to respect his superiors. Pettigrew, McNair. Yeah, Shunpike, Fudge, the Trolley Lady.
Yes.
The Grey Lady. There we go. Yeah. And just by buying all of them, we bumped ourselves up.
No, you've had your antibiotic. Like, how hard is it to get me to take her? Anyway, her anxiety stuff. I don't know how many. Yeah, whereas break it, I'll break the tablet in. The tablet's like that big, but it's got a cross on it, so you can break it into quarters or whatever.
Right.
I assume for smaller dogs you maybe.
We're an hour in. Whoa, idiots! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Alright. Lumos, Expecto Patronum! Okay. Okay, character token down there. Reducto. We were just talking about James Potter as a ghost. Okay, that gets that and a student in peril. Yes! It does! Your dog's very excitable. And very easily so. Right, idiot.
Sorry, I'm going to clean up the table.
Expecto Patronum! Okay, Reducto. Question is, would there have been any better place to put them? Is that what you think, Doggle? Right. Alright. And that goes there. Idiots. Where's my... Grip Hook can wear a Santa hat, but Quirrell can't. Alright. Oh, thank you. Expecto Patronum! Never mind. Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Okay. So, cleared our immediate surroundings of Dementors. Now, bam! Wingardium Leviosa. Boosh! Right, we're not intruding on any divination lessons, Professor Trelawney. Underrated subject. I mean, the prophecy came from it, so Accio. Where is the final thing? There it is. Bam! Doctor... Oh, of course. Very funny. Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Get the Doctor ready so we can blast those. Bam! Bam! Expecto Patronum! That was heat seeking. Or I suppose cold seeking. Oh. Expecto Patronum! Bam! Expecto Patronum! Never mind. Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Well... Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Alpha! Ah! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Okay. Okay. I was like, when I get serious, I'll definitely have all the animagi. Ultra Collector, though. That's for getting all crests in Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay. 10 gold bricks left. If I'd have just wrapped up Goblet of Fire, I'd have assumed that all 10 were in the bonus levels from the the Lego Builder stuff. Where is Sirius? And now I've dropped to one viewer. Yep, Animagus. I should have saved it for the... I should have saved the spending spree for the end of the movie. Alright. Mine back up to 2. Quidditch World Cup. There's the Doctor. Okay, even the Death Eaters are wearing Santa hats. Even though the hoods hide the fact that well, at least the okay. Just to make sure. Bam, save that student in peril. Yep. Okay, I think we've had enough Christmas. Because, I mean, my dad and I were talking about this the other day. If you live anywhere near like a shopping center or something, especially a mall, like during Christmas time, you'll find that their Christmas playlist is just the same 6 songs over and over again. If even that. Which gets old really quickly. Right, who we have with Ravenclaw access? Dumbledore. Alright, I think we're good. Save quit. Boosh. Okay, something is very, very up because I know for a fact yeah, we got Fred and George in all their variants, so there's no way. Am I gonna have to do another full sweep of all of Hogwarts? There must be something I missed. Because because 8 left, I know we're gonna get 1 from the million stud bonus. That's 3, 4, 5, 6.
Not interested in jigsaw puzzles? Because if you were doing a jigsaw puzzle.
I have a very bad feeling about this. Because trust me, I am not ending this stream until I have that platinum. Because there'd be a detector arrow. Is that what the detector in the library is referring to? Yeah, most people missed that one in the corner there, behind the blackboard. I know for a fact that I didn't. Okay. Going by your characters, I'm guessing you're playing story now. I don't know if you were there for when I was checking, but somehow oh. Harry, Ron, and Hermione don't have the same bond that Quirrell and the Doctor have. Okay. Well, at least I found the at least I found the right area very quickly. So, what changed in my absence? Well, the reason why we're here at all is because somehow we missed that character token up there. I assume because I'd yet to be in my money no object phase that well, there's girl, right? So, at least that was the only time we had to dip back into Hogwarts free roam. And we found what we were looking for pretty damn quickly, so we can safely get back into the levels and just carry on through until we hit the platinum. Grab the doctor. Okay. Can girl do magic? Who's she supposed to be? I would imagine that she can do magic because, well, each house has a boy and a girl. Are you looking for a baby? Chinese fireball. Okay. 3 viewers. Hopefully I can maintain something like that. Going through for the platinum. Grab Hagrid. All right. Ooh, Fang. Why would it not be worth anything me to use the dark arts on that? I'm surprised it didn't give us bonus characters from future books and movies instead of, you know, all this filler. I mean, look at how many characters there were in the Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars that weren't in the show. To be fair, we can safely assume that that was because they weren't that far into the show yet. If they'd have gotten like as far, if they'd have waited until like why am I doing so rubbish? Maybe I should disable fast magic for when Jango Fett, Bib Fortuna, almost all the mini kit characters. They weren't in the show, but they're still part of the universe, so they don't feel like filler. Okay. I have no idea how you're supposed to just intuit that that's how you're supposed Okay. Now we've got a Durmstrang student. I'm guessing it's kind of supposed to be whoever that guy was who's always hanging around Karkaroff. I'm guessing like his number 2 or something. Well, we've got 5 viewers now. as far as like concurrent viewership, I think this might be like an all-time record for me. The real. Oh yeah. Well, again, I want to get this platinum trophy as a bit of a Christmas present to myself, so one, by streaming it, other people can see it, and two, I can get footage for like a summary video later. And before you ask, Order Tech, as far as even just writing the Lego Star Wars one goes, I'm only up to the point where I'm only up to the end of the stream where we first discovered the prequel levels. Okay. 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 My dog is very loud. He's Cedric in a sweater. Doggo! Nisha! Okay. Bam. Boosh! Dragon Keeper.
First course.
Honestly, almost every time I see you unlock a character circuit, I think, did it have to be this character?
Very exciting.
And I kind of get it, because I mean, again, especially compared to other classical, the only one I saw today where I didn't think that was Wormtail. Okay. Bam. 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 Bam! Another complete crest. Okay. Well, now that people are starting to gather for Christmas lunch, I really need to get a wriggle on.
I didn't think that was that expensive. Like, anyway.
And that will include...
I was getting into bed and I just...
I will undoubtedly include... Moody being chummy with Wizard Green. Okay, in order to check if boy and girl can actually do magic, we actually have to own them both. The tediousness of having to find the people after we've bought them. This is kind of why I... Wait. Cedric sweater. Are we getting quotes? And Fleur and Crumb, did they... Listen, about the badges. I told them not to, but... Stem string...
As long as that said, if you need to follow along, we'll cover it.
Girl, alright.
That's good to know, but you've also got a garage key.
Sorry. So, boy and girl. They are... Yep, they can do magic. They don't have anything green. They don't have Patronuses. The man can also do magic, it seems. To be fair, you'd assume that because, well, they were playing a magical gig. I mean, the Yule Ball is... Oh, perfect! It gave me Snape, so I can... And there's barrels right here. So I can duck in here, make him Solid Snake. Or should I say Solid Snape? Because, well, that's what the trophy's called. So as far as, like, challenge-based trophies go, I think the only ones left... Okay, so with the Yule Ball, I at least know who the band is supposed to be. Where did boy and girl appear? I'm still in a dream, might be there. Bam! Harry and the Dragon task. Accio. 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 Accio.
Well, I actually
You ever notice how much the Tri-Wizard tournament must suck for the audiences? The dragon looks super dangerous, and you can't see anything under the water or in the maze. I know that. I think pretty much everyone can agree that the Tri-Wizard tournament must be like one of the worst spectator sports. And granted, the dragon looks dangerous, but at least you can hecking see it. Well, in that case, like, I suppose the dragon task is theoretically the best spectator sport of the three. Oh. Okay, bam. There we go, alright. Assuming we already have the student in peril, so I think that's it. That makes me appreciate Quidditch more. 12-year-olds get their bones crushed for several weeks for your viewing benefit. And I suppose, to be fair, that's kind of why first years you aren't supposed to join the Quidditch team, and as a result, even if Harry still does still stands up to Draco for, even if in Slytherin Harry still stands up to Draco for Neville, I think because even for 17-year-olds, that just seems far too dangerous. To be fair, I suppose that because there's a whole school league and stuff, I would imagine that even if in Slytherin, even if he was in Slytherin, Harry still stood up to Draco. They only had Moaning Myrtle in a swimsuit for that one cutscene. Yeah, they still gave it to us. But ridiculous. Bam. Bam. Okay. Okay. Turn off all these taps. Okay. Then for the Gryffindor crest, I need. Really? Even Moaning Myrtle gets an alternate version, and the only character who isn't a who doesn't is a certain half goblin who literally completely changed his appearance. I mean, you have to wonder. Bam! I mean, you have to wonder how many gigs Warwick Davis is able to get off of his stature alone. I mean, at 12 years old, he was Wicket the Ewok. Wait, does super strength actually allow you to do anything other than pull those chain handles? NGL, it's kind of lame. When I hear super strength, I want to see people throwing tanks around. I suppose that's kind of, I suppose they kind of correct that by at least Lego Incredibles, if not like a couple of like Student Rescue. That's the last Student in Peril. I assume that if not Lego Incredibles, then at least Lego Batman 2, they would have corrected that so that the super strong have more impressive strength feats.
So my custom
Or at least pick up a tree or whatever.
Oh. There you go. I can put $200 towards that.
Lego Batman 1 had super strength feats that were good.
$150, but it was $200 off. Go for 200.
Yes. So yeah, I've been wanting to get.
Yeah, they have
Wait.
Yeah, so the go-to headphones for like they're for like mixing music because they're really like accurate headphones.
Yeah.
The HD600s.
I thought this was like a good middle ground, so I don't need it for mixing music.
I have a bad feeling about this because
Okay, let's get so teas made.
also what's weird is that Wonder Woman had super strength in Lego Batman 2, but not 3, even though Wonder Woman is well known for being extremely strong. Okay. So yeah, when I checked the gold bricks and found that the levels would only get me 2 more. Or who's player 2 in the underwater level? I'd think that it's Shark Crumb, but I can see that you bought him. Thankfully, we got these clamshell oyster things in story mode because, well, there's Crumb, there's the shark head Crumb, so. Anyway, bloody Grindelows. Okay, I should be thankful that I did the... I'm sorry, but you didn't answer my question. Who's player 2 in this level? Didn't Harry go in there alone? Did the game give you awful P17 so you can have player 2? If you're asking the question for story mode, they actually give you Cedric. Which is at least somewhat appropriate. Because, well, they're going for the same targets at the same time. Ah, Cedric, I forgot he was there. What about the dragon level? Like, well, the dragon level, that legitimately makes no sense, because for some reason they throw Hermione in there just so player 2 has someone to be. I mean, I'm the biggest LEGO game bore in the world with, like, several platinum trophies to my name on PS3 and PS Vita, of all things, but another reason the Triwizard Tournament was poorly thought out. 3 is an odd number, and you always need 2 players on screen. To be fair, TT Games weren't in the business of LEGO games at the point Goblet of Fire was even written. I think, well, the movie was 2005, so yes, they would have been doing LEGO Star Wars the prequel trilogy by that point, but with something like, by the time of the book, I think they would have been doing like Pixar games or something. Because I mean, I still have their game of A Bug's Life. And I only actually 100%ed it with the use of guides and stuff, even including like the secret bonus levels, especially for just like finding them. All the useless Philip characters. I'm surprised they didn't add Armando Dippet, an Armando Dippet green shirt, an Armando Dippet red robe. Because, I mean, it's not like Professor Dippet wasn't mentioned. Because, I mean, Dumbledore was... while they were freeing Buckbeak, Dumbledore was talking about like all the new foliage that I think, at least I think it was foliage that Professor Dippet had introduced. Hey, this is true. He was actually in the movie, seen very briefly during the flashback, but he also appears in a portrait in Dumbledore's office. Well, anyways, you wanted to see the giant squid again. Here it is. It's causing problems. Imagine being the guy who played Professor Dippet. You're in the background for like a second, and nobody notices you. But then you get this really beautiful portrait painted of you. I know, because it's not like you could just find all the portraits that fit their needs. So what they had to do was like commission like all these artists to like paint in like all these classical styles. Embody that feeling of like capturing a past headmaster at in oils. Also, fun fact, it's implied in the movie that Professor Dippet died off screen during the events of Chamber of Secrets. He's mentioned in the newspaper, apparently having seen the flying Fort Anglia, but only deceased headmasters get those portraits. You have to wonder if that's something they actively thought of, because I mean, the tip Ron Howard gives in his masterclass is that your job as a director is to be the keeper of the story. So, essentially saying that trusting your enabling the creatives under you, but simply by trusting them to serve the story you're trying to tell. Yeah, you might remember I was director on a certain comic dub series. Yeah. But in that case, there's a lot less you have control over. So in order to be the keeper of the story, the best thing you could do is like indicate how certain lines would be said. Was there? I too adapted the story just like Chris Columbus did. I suppose it is fair to say that via the editing and stuff, you did have a say in like cinematography, not just how certain lines were said. But, and of course, I did edit images rarely, usually fixing coloring errors. So I suppose you do kind of have insights into the plight of not just casting, directing, and like editing, but also a little bit of cinematography, because like if you're a cinematographer, your responsibility is to not just position the camera, but use lighting to like set the mood and stuff. I mean, it's why like the first time we see Dumbledore's office, it's in a period of uncertainty, and as a result it's at night. So Lumos. Yeah, I didn't have that much influence there. I had to trust that the comic artists knew what they were doing. Well, I suppose that's kind of the point being made, is that if you have faith in whatever may not feasibly be under that much of your control, they'll feel that much more enthusiastic to be involved. You gotta love the Doctor's plan. Sign Harry up for a tournament he wasn't ready for, so maybe he'll win, all for a sample of his blood. As if there was no easier way he could have gotten that. There probably was. I mean, it's not like blood samples are that hard to obtain, even in the wizarding world. But, I mean, what would have happened, for example, if Fleur had obtained the cup first? Well, I suppose that's why he had, like, all these contingencies in place, like having Crom under the Imperious Curse, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Fleur lose every single challenge? I'm not sure about the dragon task, but we know for a fact that she had to tap out in the lake because of the Grindelows.
No, it's right. I'm just trying to find out what I'm trying to find
We get Crumb, we get lake task Crumb here. Gives me my house prefect here. What the?
Anyway, when I got the telling me that it was coming, he said that he said, oh, there's a parcel. They go, oh, let me get. So I googled it and checked on the pictures, and then when it arrived, like, and I said, oh yeah, totally, look it.
Was the lake task thing even done with the people of the permission involved? Especially since they're underage? Did they even ask Hermione's parents? That's a good question. We can assume that because... Actually, no. Okay. So, is there anything in the graveyard? Nothing. Right. Save quit. Now I've just got to buy everyone. Honestly, even the good guys in Harry Potter seem like supremacists sometimes. The ultimate collector. That's it for Crest Collection. Did you know that the Hogwarts Express was canonically stolen from Muggles? Couldn't they have, I don't know, bought it? Well, the question is, what are the question would then become, what would the exchange rates be from wizarding currency to British Muggle currency? One thing I should do first is bam. Okay. Do that. And then bam. That's all gold bricks. And the bonus level is yours. That's another trophy. So, I am currently missing by every version of Voldemort. The only one that might be a little bit problematic is get all the Devil's Snare But because I'm going back to the Trials of the Philosopher's Stone anyway. Who wants me to open it? Yeah. Because I'm going back to the Trials of the Philosopher's Stone anyway, I'm probably gonna... Hopefully I'm gonna get that trophy the next time I go down. I'm there. Alright, funny thing is, I just got an idea for a Christmas story today. The villain will be an evil version of Santa called Santa Lost Claus. Lost Cause. I get what you're doing with that name. Alright, okay, so, there's only one character we really need, and that's Vernon Dursley with a shotgun. Ideally, that's what we get, but now that we have, I can't believe Myrtle's swimsuit of all characters is what the roster ends on. I know, but thankfully she's not the she's not the last character gotten. She theoretically can be, but if you've been 100%ing everything...
Do you remember when we used to walk to school with see Joe and her little kids, Max and Maddie? Yep. Yeah, I've read
and here we've got a million stud bonus, with the premise being, this is the night when Voldemort was on the hunt for the Potters. Okay. Because of the premise, I'd assume that the focus of this Billy Sub bonus is less on puzzles and more on, well, destruction. Especially considering the lack of... I thought the version of Voldemort the Boggart turns into what's supposed to be like his pre-resurrection body. But here he looks the same as in the later movies. Well, maybe pre-resurrection Voldemort is how he looks on the handheld versions, like on PSP and DS. Everything Voldemort did in the night he killed James and Lily canon. Okay. How appropriate do you think that this is the premise for a million stud bonus? Because I think it's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, is this police? There's a bald guy without a nose running around popping fire hydrants and jumping into the water, steaming out
Potato and gravy.
later.
Oh, go on, you can talk with your mouth full. I've heard you do it before. Sorry, Christmas.
Oh,
Sorry guys, it's Christmas.
it is Christmas, but given the premise of this level, it's set in Halloween. Wait a second. That's Death Eater there. Why didn't he kill baby Harry? Not the Voldemort got power of love. I assume that's a question that's going to be answered by like the outro cinematic. Oh. You know what's weird to me is that because I'm a big fan of Achievement Hunter, especially during what most people would consider the good old days. Oh, wait, didn't William James live in some small town, not a big city with cars and streets like this? See, that's what I think. See, what I think Voldemort is doing is drawing them out. Because, I mean, the Order of the Phoenix was his, like, biggest opposition. And, can you drive the cars? Watch this. To be fair, most if not all of the cars are just London taxi cabs. But but because of the premise, I don't think there's any studs that spawn in the wake of, like, getting behind the wheel. I didn't expect it. I was going to say responsible Voldy, he doesn't. Because he doesn't have a license. And to be fair, why would he need one? Because even in EA's take on Deathly Hallows, he's not on a broom when he's during the Battle of Seven Potters. Okay. I had hoped that we would maintain 5 viewers. Death Eater. So, my Dark Lord. Wasn't this mission about fighting a baby and losing or something? The infant will, I think, prove most challenging if the prophecy is to be believed. But not invincible. Silence! There are hydrants that must die. Okay. Wait, did destroy that phone booth. A bit late now. Even if it wasn't. The only... If you were wanting me to go inside at Call the Potters and say, hello, your pizza is here. Please come outside. I admit that would have been a better way to bake them out, but well, if Voldemort had considered that, he probably wouldn't even be Voldemort. Wait a second, we didn't order a pizza. Last words of James Potter. Yeah, well, that would make it. If he was smart enough, then James would have been on his guard. I'm guessing that's Voldemort's main reasoning for why, like, he wouldn't do it. And more than that, more than that, if Voldemort had tried the simple solution, he probably wouldn't be Voldemort. I mean, lest we forget, Voldemort's father conceived him while under the influence of a love potion. So, he's gonna... Voldemort, didn't pizza cost you a fake mustache? Did you order one with extra killing curse? Extra what? Says James. Voldemort. Avada Kedavra. Here it is. Alright. Avada Kedavra! Avada Kedavra! Voldemort. And we actually get the studs from the... Doesn't that feel weird coming off like the classic Lego games where you don't? Voldemort, what's to Lily? You're next, woman. But first, glances at a fire hydrant. You know, I know that there are fire hydrants in Britain because, well, that and Clarkson talks about them sometimes in relation to the Stig. But you have to wonder if they're only in certain provinces because, well, because, bam! Dark Wizards. Now, yeah, that's 100%. Isn't there another trophy for that? Yep, you're the best. They're only in certain provinces because Voldemort destroyed all the other ones. I suppose that explains why in a certain classic Let's Fail in Achievement from Achievement Hunter, Gavin Free. The first time he pops a fire hydrant in GTA, the whole idea of a fire hydrant is so foreign to him that he's like, Quirrell and Draco waving at each other was kind of adorable. Right. But it just so happens that it's the next stage of my... You really want Quirrell as your player 2 in this of all levels? Well, there's a trophy. There's a trophy for defeating Quirrell in the Quirrell boss fight with Voldemort, and there is something that I want to try. It's if a player 2 Quirrell counts, and as opposed to just relying on the thing you know, and that's doing what you will with Voldy Quirrell. Okay. Somehow, Voldemort can hold out his wand, Harry at the end of Deathly Hallows. Wait, Voldemort's Horcruxes are gone. Do I even need magic or the Elder Wand? Drops a fire hydrant on Voldy's head and breaks his neck. Alright, pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn back. Pawn. Pawn takes pawn. Knight. Knight takes knight. Pawn takes pawn. Seeing Voldemort on the broomstick really brings back my immortal flashbacks. In that story, he's often described angrily flying on a broomstick. Right. What are you doing, you idiot? The rook takes pawn. Thank you. Queen takes rook. It says a lot that in the EA games, all pieces move like pawns. Please read my immortal, it is so hilarious. Right. Bishop takes queen. Bishop takes queen. Well, that pawn moves up. Queen takes bishop, checkmate. Alright. Now, something I want to test. No, has to be Voldy Quirrell. Bam! Right. Okay, you know how much I love Super Strength? Would have been way more fun with the animation for the Queen defeating the Rook. Deadlift it, suplex it, swing it like a lasso. Bam! And there we've solved the Quirrell Quandary. Because we didn't get the Devil's Snare trophy, I think that warrants a trip to the greenhouses to see if... Right. The music playing right now was actually written for Philosopher's Stone, but it was only used in the second one, both on the soundtrack and the actual movie. I mean, I think I know what piece you're talking about. Played when the Tom Riddle flashback faded out. Yeah, I thought so. I thought that was what we were talking about. Right. Lumos. So, if there are any other devil snares around the greenhouses, the question is, because it was held back in Chamber of Secrets, you have to wonder if they held it back on, like, anytime they do a complete soundtrack album release. Okay. Are there any other places with Devil Snare? I could go back into like the same few levels again, but I think I already had my fair share of that. Barely anything gets a complete release, and even if it does, usually has several short cues edited together into a long track. I suppose, to be fair, that would be a fair way to do stuff like the Battle Above Coruscant from Revenge of the Sith. Maybe even like Hoth. I was hoping not to have to Dive back in. At least this is the most readily accessible. That may be so, but for editors such as people working on Star Wars comic dubs, it would be far more useful to have many tracks with clean openings and clean endings. Lumos Solem, finally! Right, exit without saving. Now, I should probably have my No, I need a Harry for this last trophy to work.
Wait, let me show you this knife out.
Okay, so final trophy we're going for requires me to use Voldemort to kill Harry in the graveyard. Most efficient way to do that is to bring Voldemort, is to start with Voldemort and Harry in free play. And then when in the graveyard, just hit him with some green. Okay. Speed is of the utmost importance. Huh?
How long are you going to be in?
Just a couple more minutes. There's only one trophy left to get, and it's the one for bringing Voldemort and Harry into the graveyard and having the former strike down the ladder. Come on! Voldemort trying to kill Harry again. Alright, Harry. 10th time's the charm. Okay. Either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives. Come on. Harry. I don't think we fought that often, Voldemort. I failed a few secret plots you didn't find out about. Alright. Come on, charge!
Here's the plumber. What is it? Turning on the tap and running out the cigarette. Go!
Okay, have a killing curse ready to go.
None of that, and catch that water and I'll chuck it out.
Right. Aim and Avada Kedavra! There we go. Roll reversal for killing Harry as Voldemort in the graveyard. And the platinum True Wizard. So, that is it for LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 to 4. Next stream, I'll probably do Years 5 to 7, because the great part about playing on PS5 is that even if I'm using the PS4 version, it's still a collection of the two. So, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Hell of a Christmas present for myself in the form of a platinum trophy. Until next time, though, thank you all for coming, and see you then.